How to help your people speak up like a leader, not a manager. Number one is to reward the risk of speaking up, not just the idea, right? If you only reward brilliance, whether it's an idea, feedback, anything, well, people are going to start holding back their honesty, right? I think about that image of a person with a pickaxe and they're going for the gold, right? Or the diamond on the other side. You're not going to get to that just by the first swing. You got to keep going and going after it, right? And for people, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You got to share, you got to open up. That's Wayne Gretzky. Keep on shooting, right? It's not about brilliance. Now, even if you don't agree with it, we want to say, thank you. I appreciate you opening up and sharing that. You being able to share that, Beth, has made us as a team better. Number two is to ask questions that invite courage. I call it a culture of courage. A manager is going to stay at the surface. Those, how's everything going? Or what'd you think about that, right? As leaders, we ask what I call 3-layer spark questions. All right, how would you rate the communication on our team? Even if you get some 1s, some 5s, some 10s, it doesn't matter. You want them to open up and be honest, because then you're going to go a little bit level deeper and say, hey, how can we improve it? What can we do today to start moving in that direction? I love Amazon's disagree and commit policy, where people are allowed to have that radical candor, right? That open honesty without punishment or judgment. That's the type of culture we want to create. Because if you think about it, silence isn't safety. No, it's usually a sign of fear. And it could mean that we as leaders are not listening. Andy Stanley has this great quote. He says, leaders who don't listen eventually surround themselves with silence. And we don't want that. You can ask simple questions like, all right, what are we not saying that we should? Or if this idea failed, what would we regret not speaking up about? So focus on the right questions and you'll start to encourage people to speak up. And number three is to model vulnerability first. Simon Sinek has the Leaders Eat Last book and concept, which is basically sharing our ideas, our thoughts, our perspective about things last. However, when it comes to speaking up and courage and vulnerability, I believe it's up to us to share first. It's almost like a cold plunge. Everybody's like, I'm not going in. Then once one person goes in, everybody else is like, oh, I guess it's not so bad. So then they start to go. Well, let's lead the way with our vulnerability. So it's okay to admit what you are still figuring